Joining us now is 2026 Nebraska running back
geared up.
commit Jamal Rule, looking good in the red Nebraska gear. Jamal, what's going on, man?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Oh, good. I love the personality too, man. Coach Barthel was at the full disclosure. One running back talking to another. I had to rock the end today just for you because I'll be down in Lincoln today, going back to my alma mater, man. But congratulations. Does anybody call you Ja? Right? Or is that because it's already taken from a famous musician? They give you your own nickname.
They really just call me Rule. They
Rule.
call me Rule. Yeah, they just call me by my last name. People
Oh,
don't
you'll do well in
I like
education. Now, teachers are always called by their last name. I don't think people think teachers have real first names. But how's it feeling, man? Couple days removed in my old stomping grounds. I used to live in the Charlotte area way back when, man. How does it feel that you've made it official and it's done and over with?
feels great. I'm not gonna lie, it's a big weight off my shoulders. The recruitment process, it was fun, but it was also stressful at times, definitely. So yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Jamal, I was going to say, a lot of people I don't think understand kind of the stressors involved with the recruiting process. There is a lot of pressure. You have people coming after you really hard. Like, to you, what was kind of something that was a little bit more stressful than you were anticipating as you kind of got down to these final couple schools that you were looking at?
Actually making a decision for sure. Because like the schools that I had, all of them, they were great schools. Like I could have rolled the dice or whatever when I went to. I'd have been happy. So like really having to like sit down, do research, you know, just check behind yourself, check behind the schools, and actually make your decision. It was definitely harder than I thought. Not gonna lie.
Well, so Jamal, what was it about Nebraska that behind the scenes, like if it's how the sausage was made that the fan base may not know, what was it that kind of that drew you to them at the end of the day after all the bells and whistles? What were the guts of it that brought you to Nebraska?
I just like the people there, hanging out with Matt Rhule, Dana, Coach EJ, some of the players, it just felt like family, We went out on my official visit, went to go eat, it was just all fun and games. And I was sitting with the players, it was just fun. Just fun. It was just fun to hang out with them. So yeah.
Where'd they take you to eat?
It was the Capitol. It was the Capitol building.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they must like
It
you.
was,
It was a good meal. What
yeah, I think so a little
what
bit.
what'd you order?
I had I think it was like a steak and lobster tail with like
Okay.
some mashed potatoes. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the profiler in me tells you that with that elegant of a meal, you're a good student. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I'm
Uh,
a good student.
there you go. There you go.
I always got to keep I got to keep that first. If I don't do that well, I can't get on the field. So yeah.
So it's interesting. I was born and raised here. I signed with Carolina when I was coming out of college, and so I spent a lot of time in the Charlotte area. And I love Omaha. And I always tell people if I was going to move, I would go back to that Charlotte, that Carolina kind of area. You said something that's interesting. You said the people were so nice. That's one thing I would say about that region where you are is kindness. Was that kind of a vibe that you were picking up on, where the people were just so good natured and kind of for you that you were kind of drawn to that?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, up here, everybody, it just, they gravitate towards each other. And then whenever you go up to Lincoln, especially since I was, on the official visit to Nebraska, they all about the Nebraska football team. So like even when I committed on the last day, I went to this it was a MJ Broadway show. And like the guards up there were like, "Oh, can I take a picture? I want to take a picture with the new star running back that's gonna be there in a couple years." Yeah, just everybody was just great.
So, did they talk to you at all about what about your game, the coaching staff? What about your game specifically did they like and made them kind of zero in on wanting to have you part of this team?
They said my physicality, and they say I play the running back position the way it's supposed to be played.
Mm.
Said my explosiveness, my size, and for me to have my speed at my size.
I guess low 200s. If you stepped on the scale today, what number would it tell me?
208.
Okay.
Ooh,
All
not too
right.
bad.
All
All
right.
right, so I'm watching a little film. I said one of the things that I really like about you is even running out of kind of that pistol set. Sometimes it's hard to get downhill, and you get zone steps, but I love the way you run behind. It's called what I call it running behind your pads, where when you go into contact, people feel you. I'm like he's a heavy runner when you go into contact. Is that something that's by design? Are you taking advantage of your size? It's how you've always ran the football. Like, what is it? Whose running style did you emulate?
I mean, people call me up here, they call me Isaiah Pacheco because I run so hard. But
Mm.
like even as a little child, like uh some people don't know this, but back when I was like little, I had some bad anger issues. That's actually how I got into football because my parents was like, bro, I need to do something with this kid. He's
I
doing
could
too much.
relate.
He's picking up chairs, doing all this stuff. So they was like, we just got to put him in something, and that's how I stumbled on the football field. And
How'd you?
I'll go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, go finish the story. I
Uh,
got to follow up.
yeah, my first position was center. That's just because when I was little, I was still a little chubby and a little big, so people thought I couldn't move like that. So they put me in the backfield, and then the rest is history. After that, yeah.
You, you know what's interesting about that? One of my former teammates at Nebraska, running back by the name of Clinton Childs. You got to look up his film. For 2 years in middle school, he played offensive line,
I could see that. He's a big dude.
and yeah, he's like Eric Dickerson, though. I mean, the dude is like a gazelle. It's just weird how like at I always tell does playing O line and kind of snapping the ball and kind of being close to the line of scrimmage, does that make you? Did you learn to appreciate the guys up front a little more, having
Yeah,
had to do that early?
yeah, definitely. I didn't expect it to be that hard, but especially the center position, having to worry about snapping it, standing up, and still blocking, like it's a lot.
Can you still
But
snap?
I think I'm pretty good. I'll say I'm about a good 7, 8 out of 10. I wouldn't say
Wait,
it's perfect, but
can you long snap?
oh no, I don't think that.
Okay, I was gonna
That
say
that that takes a little bit more
you
technique.
play
I
for
don't think
another
I have.
15 years if you could long snap. Okay,
Yeah.
I just looking for a little clarity.
We're talking with Jamal Rule, 2026 Nebraska running back commit. Jamal, so obviously from the Carolina, Charlotte area, was there a lot of guys have different priorities in their recruiting process? As you were kind of looking at Nebraska, obviously it's a long way from home. How much was that part of your consideration, or what were your priorities when looking at a school?
Yeah, obviously I don't like being away from my family, but like at the end of the day, this is the best place for me, I believe. So, and what I was looking at, I wanted a family environment, uh, you know, and then a place where I can be developed on and off the field because I'm gonna be a person way longer than I'm gonna be a football player.
Hmm.
So, and
Mm,
then also I wanted a coaching staff that, I could come to about problems on and off the field, if I'm having struggles on the field, I can go to EJ or even like off the field if I'm going through something, be like, can I talk to you real quick?
interesting. Yeah, did you notice how tight knit that running back room is? It's amazing how well those guys get along in such a range of age.
Yeah, it's yeah, they're all great. I got a chance to talk with a little bit of all of them. Got a chance to talk to Isaiah, talk to Emmett, you know, talk to Ives. They're all of them. Yeah, they're all rooting for each other. That's one of the things I like about the room. They're not even though they're competing with each other because they all want to get on the field. They still uplift each other for their accomplishments.
So can you get a gauge of running styles when you think about those running backs' personalities?
Uh, I mean, I think Emmett is, a little bit more shifty, but drop his shoulder when he has to. Ives, it looks to me like he's a little bit more physical, but he has a good
He's the
speed.
biggest of the bunch.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's more physical. And Isaiah, I really can't tell, but he was a wide receiver and he transferred to a running back. So I would guess that he's a little bit more shifty
Did you
than
get a chance to meet Makai?
I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. I was just trying to get gauging your profile skills. I kind of like it.
That's DB's personal favorite is Makai.
I
He
wouldn't
said,
say that.
I
I
would.
like them all. I cheer for the young guys. So Jamal, when you're taking a look at kind of you mentioned Coach Holgerson, and he's hilarious. I would always talk to him about distance and traveling, and he looked at me and he said, "You do realize that airplanes have been invented. Like most things are like a 2-hour flight. We'll be fine. We're in the middle of the country." Because I was talking about him, recruiting coasts and things like that. Is that something that they kind of talk to you about? Where, yeah, you may be away from family. You'll get a new family when you get to Lincoln, but it's still just an airplane flight away.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they were talking about because I think out of all the schools that are in my Final Four, this was the farthest away. But they were just like, it's really only like 2 hours. And 2 hours really ain't that long, honestly. So yeah.
Mm. Jamal, last thing from me here. What are you most excited about the University of Nebraska and getting on campus in the fall?
I'm excited about the first game, going through the tunnel and seeing all the fans because,
Mm.
they have a whole bunch of sellouts. So I'm excited to see all 9,000 fans as soon as we go out, just 90,000, not 9,000. I'm so sorry. But yeah, 90,000 fans, you know, just all cheering whenever we come out. Yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
Let me get you out on this. What with the hay kind of being in the barn for your college choice? How are you approaching this final season of what you want to get accomplished on the gridiron?
One thing I gotta win a state championship. That's the
There you
one
go.
thing I needed. I need to check off my high school career. And other than that, I'm just, getting my body ready. I'm training like I'm already in college because I'm a mid-year and before I know it's gonna be December and I'm gonna be in college. So yeah.
How impressed were you with the strength and conditioning and the nutrition part of it, which I think is an absolute strong as an asset for this university?
Yeah, that's one of the things I base my decision on
There you
actually.
go.
The
Mm.
strength and conditioning program. I mean, it's a great group of guys. I actually got to like, do a little something with them. They let all the recruits dress out and, do like a little warm up. So yeah, that was great. They're all disciplined. Everything has to be on time. And the nutrition, I mean, it's great. They got the little training table, and they have a full spread out.
I'm going to give you
Yeah.
one of the answers to the test. Okay. Make sure that you're extra kind to Kristen.
Oh
Make sure
yeah,
you
I will
listen to
be.
everything she says because don't let that little small stature fool you. She is an
Yeah.
absolute menace,
Yeah.
but she'll get you right.
Mhm.
Did you get that feel from her?
Yeah, I did. It seems like she seems like a lion almost, She's cool, but like if you step in her territory too much, she'll pounce on you. So yeah.
Oh, I think I might go with that with her. All right.
Jamal, we appreciate the time. We appreciate you showing your faith in the University of Nebraska. We look forward to seeing you in December.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Jay Rule. We'll see you, buddy.
That's
All right.
Jamal Rule, Nebraska 2026 running back commit. Good stuff there.
Yeah.
I like him.
Easy going.
Yeah.